Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, anniversary
the Big 10.
Big 10 of the Details podcast. Today, we have an interesting, spooky topic for you all.
That has been requested via Instagram.
Yes, so thank you to our Instagram followers. If you're not following us on Instagram, link below, there it is. Follow us and drop your topics that you'd like us to discuss next. Now, we're moving into cults today.
Yeah, Walid wanted to sort of begin this by giving a bit of a definition on what a cult actually is.
Yes. So a cult is a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object.
Let's begin with Jim Jones.
Oh man, everyone knows Jim Jones.
And I'm going to start off like every single murder documentary starts and talk a bit, delve into his childhood. So apparently he was a loner in his youth, okay? And he would entertain his friends in like his family's barn. He would even lock his friends in the barn and just leave them there.
Lovely.
So already like not a great guy.
Yeah, his friends are just like, okay, probably shouldn't hang out with this guy anymore.
Okay, and he used to like do experiments on live animals and conduct funerals for them. So we're getting a bit like there's something like not
I feel
right.
like there's a strong correlation with like people experimenting with animals. Like they take it on animals first, and then they try it on humans.
There's a very, very famous serial killer called Jeffrey Dahmer, and he used to like find animals that were already dead and like use acid that his dad got from like his job. He was like a chemist or something, and like dissolve them, and he ended up doing that to his human victims too. So from a young age he was like really obsessed with religion and very like fascinated, I guess, with death.
Yeah, I've heard.
And one of his friends actually got interviewed in like a documentary and claimed that he actually saw him kill a cat with a knife.
That's what I'm saying. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
It starts with, and that's already a terrible thing. I'm not trying to like, sugarcoat it or anything.
But the thing is like, what kid thinks like, hey, I really want to kill this cat? Like it's not a normal thought process, I guess. With either serial killers or, people like Jim Jones, people are always like, what was he like in his childhood? Yeah. And it's like, it doesn't matter. If he was crap then, he's crap now.
Yeah.
If he was a normal child and he still did all those things, like he's still a piece of...
Yeah, exactly.
SHIT. Basically, we all know the phrase, don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, yeah.
And I didn't know until recently that it was like revolved around this Jim Jones.
Yeah, how interesting is that?
Yeah, he was a cult leader in like the 1970s. And the cult that he ran was the largest number of American deaths from a like not from a natural disaster.
Yeah.
And before 9/11. So 9/11 is the one that had the most.
Second to 9/11. Yeah.
And it was about, I think, just over 900, like 909 people that like unfortunately just...
Dude, that's a lot of people. From one person, like...
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so to start off with, of course, like to have like as much influence on someone as like a cult leader does, they have to be in a very high place in society, I guess. They have to have some authority or power.
They got to have that rep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he had that. He was the minister of a church called the People's Temple.
Already sounds like a cult.
Yeah, and this church had like thousands of followers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I think he used to preach a lot of maybe controversial things that not everyone agreed with. Like he'd sort of like, he'd be very charismatic and nice at the start, and then he'd like get a bit like, did he say that kind of thing? Okay. But like, I guess people were captivated because he was interesting to listen to and to watch. Yeah, fair enough. And he was actually endorsed by like some councilmen and senators and stuff because they were like, this guy, like he's got good ideology and whatever.
Yeah, they didn't know any better. Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, so I guess there was like a lot of media talking about or like making rumors about what was going on in the church and like, there's something a bit sketchy.
And
happening.
Then he started to panic, didn't he?
He did.
He's like, man.
This is like around 1977.
He's like, around 1977, all this attention on me, media, articles, if articles existed back then, all this attention on good old Jim Jones. So he's like, you know what? I got to take this all away from me. I can't handle it. He was too stressed. We need to take this somewhere else. So where did he go? He went somewhere based around Venezuela, right?
Yeah, Venezuela,
Yeah, and he developed, or he created something called...
Specifically Guyana
in Venezuela.
And he called it Jonestown.
He called it Jonestown.
As in his surname, Jim Jones.
After his surname, he took all his followers there with him.
And the fact that people just, like, gave up everything in their life and followed this man, like, just kind of shows...
the influence and the power behind this person. To move somewhere
like,
and just
your
forget
job,
your past.
your family, like... everything.
It's a big decision. Like this guy, he must have done something.
But like the people were so sure of themselves too. They were like, "This is the best.
They're like,
this is gonna."
This guy is a good guy. Like,
they think this is gonna bring us closer to God, or this might grant us like eternal life. Some cults literally they promise people
whatever he promised. Yeah, exactly.
Some cults literally tell people you'll live forever. Like if you guys follow us, or like.
The way they do it is they build it so slowly. Like
it's just the brainwashing. People in cults don't realize that they're in a cult.
Day one will be like 1 + 1 = 2. It's like, oh yeah, I can get around that. Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Day like 50 will be like, if you follow me, you'll have eternal life. But by then they're like, oh yeah, I can get around that.
By then it's like, all right.
They're so brainwashed.
It's like I invested too much in this, and cults tend to like get people's secrets out of them. So like that you'll confess like all your crimes and things that like you're not proud of to them.
Your insecurities.
Yeah. And it's like at that point you're even more vulnerable than when you went in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because cults do target vulnerable people.
Yeah, who don't know any better.
Yeah. So anyway, they moved to Venezuela and it's kind of like a camp.
Yeah.
Like no one really has a proper house because they just sort of moved there, and it's like in the countryside. And at this camp, they had a cute little pet, a little chimpanzee.
Mugs called Mugs. Yeah.
Mr. Mugs. Yeah.
Okay.
So this Jim Jones guy had a lot of like, I guess, weird thoughts and just would say dumb stuff all the time. And one of the things he said is that he's the only heterosexual on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
And all men and all women are homosexuals.
Yeah. I wonder how the people reacted. Were they just like, I can get around that.
Yeah, you're right. I am.
This man knows everything. He must be right. Yeah.
I know. Like, imagine you're like, you know what? I never thought of myself as that. But since you said it, now it all makes sense.
Yeah, literally.
It just, I didn't get it. And then strange. In the last few moments of his life, he was like a full drug addict. Like pharmaceutical drugs.
Oh, yeah, on the pharmaceuticals, yeah.
I think he was very paranoid as well the last few months. Like he thought, maybe I'm losing like the grip on my followers.
Yeah, because people wanted to leave.
They realized, oh crap, like what did we do?
Yeah.
Like we made a mistake.
They're like, what is this place,
like,
man?
Something's not right.
This guy's crazy.
He's insane. He had like guards with like guns walking around, like which were like, I guess his closest followers. They were like given that promotion.
And then as soon as people wanted to leave and they weren't allowed to, that's when the SHIT
before we get to that.
Yeah.
This guy would like have like around the camp there were like loudspeakers, and he would constantly be talking into them. Yeah. So that people knew like, I'm watching you, and like I am there wherever you go, kind of thing. And he would get them to spy on each other. Like even husbands and wives would like put him before like their partner, and it was just a very, very toxic.
Like he's like with his speaker, hey bro, you forgot to brush your teeth. That guy in the third house with that window.
Yeah, and it like I guess it just made people uncomfortable and want to leave, like you said.
Too much.
And one of the senators that I guess endorsed him originally was like, I need to go check out how these people are doing.
Yeah, okay.
And I think his name was, what was it? Leo Ryan. He was a congressman.
Go on, Leo.
So he went there and sort of sussed out the camp, I guess, to see like what was happening. And a lot of people were like, please help us like leave.
Yeah.
And obviously Jim Jones was like, how dare you guys betray me?
Yeah.
After I made you spy on each other. and you know what else he did? He would constantly give him like juice and be like, it's poison, but if you believe me and trust me, like it won't kill you. Or if you believe me, you'll drink it because like, I know God is telling me that you have to drink it.
It comes back to what we talked about before, which is conditioning.
Yeah. Like they would just drink it and nothing would happen to them because obviously it wasn't poison. It was
not poison. Yeah.
Foreshadowing,
yeah.
Anyway, so basically this congressman, everyone told him that they want to leave and stuff like that.
Yep.
And when he was leaving, right, he's on the airstrip, about to get into his plane, his helicopter, gets shot. Him and I think 4 other people that he came with.
By the guards?
By the guards,
Damn.
yeah. Like full loyal followers.
They're like, patow.
Yeah.
They just got him. And all the people on that like village would have probably been like, yep, that would be us if we tried to leave.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. So you kind of create like this thing where we can't go against him.
You can't go anywhere, yeah.
Do you know what happened after? The main event.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
So, like we mentioned, don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, yeah.
And what did 900 and something people do?
Again, he was like, hey, guys, this is juice and it's also poisonous, as he's done before, right? Conditioning.
But this time, I think people knew something was up.
Okay.
Because they all gathered in like their main tent. Surrounding the tent were the guards.
Yeah.
They had crossbows, they had guns. So people were like...
So they were very sus.
Yeah, they're like, we're probably not getting out of here alive.
They're like, this is different.
Yeah.
This hasn't happened before.
Yeah. So he was like, everyone make sure the children drink first.
Yeah, man. Come
and it was
on.
like, what the hell?
Seriously,
like,
how messed up in the head do you have to be?
To like kill children.
Yeah. And just do it, let them do it first? Like, why? What was in it that was poisonous?
I think cyanide?
Cyanide, yeah.
Or something like that.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And it's funny that people say don't drink the Kool-Aid because it wasn't actually Kool-Aid. It was a knockoff Kool-Aid called Flavor Aid.
Oh, okay.
So don't drink the Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so around 900.
Man, that's sad.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But even sadder, about I think 300 and something of those were less than 17 years old.
And like...
And kids just get swooped up into this. Their parents didn't ask them, hey, you want to go join this cult?
Yeah. Oh, it's that's sad. And the children drinking it first, being forced to. It's like the parents have to watch that. And then watch their children pass away from the cyanide and then drink it themselves.
Yeah.
This guy is clearly just mentally so disturbed. Like, that is so disgusting. He just wants people to suffer as much as possible before they die.
Actually, a lot of people, I guess, didn't drink it because when whoever went back to get the bodies, when they went, a lot of people had injection like wounds.
Oh man.
So he must have actually, like, some people would have
injected it into them. Oh,
and
God.
So there's a bit of speculation about his death also. A lot of people say he committed
suicide. Or someone shot him
because he had a gunshot, I think, to the head. But some people also said his nurse shot him.
I heard about that.
This is like the nurse that was giving him like all the drugs he was addicted to.
Either seems feasible because he did look up to, Hitler, who killed himself. So maybe he wanted to go the same way.
Despite this, there were survivors. So like, I'm pretty sure one of the ladies was like asleep and she didn't hear the like everyone assembled.
Oh man.
And like some people were actually running away and they were like in the forest, in the jungle. I know that there was one guy whose wife and kid actually got stuck, but he made it out. So that's really sad.
That's so sad. It's anyway. Like you wouldn't even want to escape without them.
Mr. Muggs.
Oh, Mr. Muggs. They got him.
They got him. The pet chimpanzee.
How did he die?
They shot him.
Oh my God, it's a chimpanzee.
Like, he doesn't know.
It's like they made him drink cyanide as well. It's like here you go.
It's like
Flavor Aid.
This chimpanzee knows too much. Like, he doesn't know anything. Just release him in the jungle that you're already in. Like,
oh my God, that's terrible. That's so sad.
But that's all we have on Jim Jones.
Why do people join cults and...
A bit about them.
Yeah.
So currently there's over 800 cults in America. 800 cults? I mean, I guess the most famous one is the KKK.
Yeah. Does that include Scientology?
These cults, like, clearly they're dangerous. Clearly they're messing with people's mind. It takes people years of therapy to, like, overcome all the emotional trauma. However... Americans are very free people, and they
freedom.
They're actually protected by law, which means that no practiced religion can be banned. So it's from the First Amendment of freedom, which is in the Constitution. There has been a few different cults that have actually been made illegal. because they're doing crimes.
Yeah. So there is a law that counteracts saying, hey, yes, freedom of speech, but
crime.
if you've got a cult saying to do ridiculous stuff, then no, you can't do that.
So I'm pretty sure even the Ku Klux Klan is technically illegal.
Yeah, of course.
But they're just shady and
they're just, they
don't get caught with
Yeah.
anything. All right. So basically, people who join cults are typically introduced to the cult by friends and family.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Just like pyramid schemes.
Yeah. They're typically in a very vulnerable space. Maybe they went through something very traumatic recently. Like, they're just not in a good place.
Yeah.
And maybe they're looking for, like, that security, that closure, that comfort.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, the support from a community.
Closure, that family that they may feel like they don't have, that they have in the cult, perhaps.
Yeah, but it gets to, like, a point where, like, a lot of them are even willing to die for the leader.
Oh my God, how does that happen?
It's
a conditioning build-up stage, like we said, right? Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so some crazy stuff that happens in cults includes
Here we go.
brainwashing, strong arming members into dedicating their belongings to the cult. So the cult leader can be like, put your house under my name. So yeah, giving their belongings to the cult. Some people undergo medical procedures. So cult leaders, like we said, always offer a lot. I guess they offer more than they can give.
Yeah.
Stupid things like financial security, eternal life, like health, wealth.
Eternal life. Come on, bro. I don't want that.
I don't know. Like, who wants to live forever?
Yeah,
like,
for real. Like yeah.
On Earth.
How boring. Like, why would you want that? And it's all lies too. Like, it's not like you actually have financial security with them.
No.
They just, like, take your finances.
They take everything.
Yeah, they take everything you own.
They're very like, this is wrong, this is right. And like, there's no gray area. There's no debate. It's like solid answers. So for someone who like maybe overthinks or like doesn't know, it's nice to just be like, here you go. Here's all the information.
Yeah.
Like the answer's right in front of you.
Here's the answer. And they're like, wow, I just love getting the answer without thinking.
Yeah, literally. Oh, another thing cults do is they create like an us versus them kind of psychology. They say, you know, they're not like us. Like, it's like they're bad and they're this.
It's
and
the word choices.
Like it's them and us.
They put them in the group.
Like it's like completely separate, and it isolates the members. And it kind of like at that point you're like, you know, I'm loyal to this group, this cult.
And what they start doing on
it's
the back
very
of that,
like secretive when you get to that point.
And on the back of that, what they start doing is isolating you against anyone who's against that cult.
Yeah.
The cult finds out your mum, your dad's against, or your friends are questioning the status quo, saying, hey man, this cult sounds really shady.
Like I'm a bit worried about you.
The cult will be like, oh nah. Like they'll just like,
they just don't want to see you have eternal life.
They'll just brainwash you. They'll be like, oh, the us and them thing, like you said. Yeah.
So another thing they do is they like to keep their people very paranoid. Like the government is out to get you. Your family is out to get you.
Yeah.
Like the only person that can save you from all of this is me and us. And like, you know, everyone has each other's back.
Keep them stressed 24/7 so they're running back to you, right?
Like honestly, if you want a sense of community and like, you know, you want someone to have your back, join a gang. Why are you joining a cult?
Yeah, or just subscribe to the Details podcast. Like,
we're a family here. We're saying people who join a cult, not in the best place. Bit low self-esteem, possibly. When you join a cult, everyone compliments you. Everyone is so nice to you. You know, you're like getting bombed by like all this love and support.
What is this love? I've never seen it before. This is amazing.
And like they even seduce people. You know, they seduce them, they make them feel good. And like,
make them feel good.
That's that dopamine, you know? It's like you start associating the cult with like all this like goodness. Okay, so there's been a lot of research in like cults, and it's been found most people who join cults are actually women.
So interesting.
And there's been a lot of like I guess debate from different psychologists on why. There's been some that are like, you know, women tend to have lower self-esteem. I'm not saying that. It's like a study that was done. I don't think women have low self-esteem.
Please,
but yeah, so people say stuff like that. People say, you know, women tend to like cope with like trauma in their life worse. Women are more vulnerable to like getting manipulated because they're fragile or weak minds.
Fair enough.
I don't think this again.
This is the big one though that we discussed. Women go out on outings a lot more and are more social.
More social, go out with like groups.
Go out with the girls, you know.
Go out with the girls, go out to church, go out in their mum group, go out with the family.
Naturally, they've got more opportunity
more
to
access
be
to people.
exposed to these cults, unfortunately. So it just falls
I think
naturally that way.
That's the biggest one. That's the one I believe.
I feel like that one makes sense. Yeah.
That one makes sense.
Yeah, it's very generalizing to say, women can't think for themselves. Oh,
yeah.
It's like obviously,
on,
you know, they're always out and about, like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, you know, like speaking about how women are in cults more often. Women are also of course, they're the biggest victims of cults, right? Because there's the most of them. But most cults actually violate women, and like men are superior to women, and women blah blah blah. You know, like women typically aren't placed in a very high place in cults.
Right.
Oh my God, stop. Someone's going to start a women cult now. Like some feminism cult. Please don't. But yeah, so it's interesting to see like they go to something that doesn't exactly like give them what they want or what
Another
they need.
factor is some cults like not abuse, but you know, they do stuff to women, right? So probably the cult is also targeting women because they can, you know, unfortunately, you know, do these
use them
bad
for
things.
whatever they want to use them for.
As they please. After they condition them, the leader can be like, all right.
But you know what it is too? Let's say you've got a lot of women in your cult.
Yeah.
It kind of would want a man to join too.
Yeah.
To be surrounded by all these women, or like these women might even go out and like seduce men to bring them into the cult. It's a whole like pyramid scheme.
Women have power to do that as well. So it's a whole scheme. But all the women out there, please be careful. The next cult,
anyone, be careful, because you genuinely do not know.
Yes.
You do not know.
Women and men, I'll take it back.
If you are getting involved in a cult or not.
Please, be careful.
Or a pyramid scheme.
Oh, look, definitely pyramid scheme.
Didn't someone try to get you in a pyramid scheme?
Someone tried to get me in a pyramid scheme in 2017. So a couple of years ago. And look, you can tell that there's something sus. Because you know how they threw me under the bus in this situation?
Yeah.
They were like, hey, like I've got this really, really important thing at my place and I need your support. And I was like, hey, what is this thing? What is this thing? Can you give me this detail? Can you tell me this? I can't tell you anything. Like,
you just have to come.
You just have to come. If they tell you that, I can't tell you anything. You just have to come, run for the hills, block them on Facebook, delete them from your friendship and your whole life, because they're gonna take you to a pyramid scheme. Why were
you targeted? Were you in a bad place?
I don't know. Anyways, they took me to the thing, and it was a pyramid scheme. I was surprised. I was like, what? Like, I thought I was gonna support like their, I don't know, like education and something, or art, or like a business they're starting that's actually legit, not a pyramid scheme. It was a silly pyramid scheme, and I was just like, man, this is stupid. I was gonna voice my opinion and be like, this is a pyramid scheme, you're wasting our time, you're doing a terrible thing. But I would
have stayed for the entertainment.
I did. Like, it was so entertaining.
Let me see where this is going.
Dude, the guy had a gold watch, like probably fake, and like a really nice car that he rented like 10 minutes ago.
Do you want to make $1 million in 3 days like I did?
He's like, do you want to have this car that I rented 10 minutes ago for a period of half an hour before I have to return it, and a fake gold watch like me? Then follow this crappy pyramid scheme.
Like with pyramid schemes, like the more people you bring in, the higher you go, and the more you make.
That is why it's rubbish. Because if you join, you're not going to bring in any people. You're only going to destroy the relationships with your friends and family. Yeah. Look, your friends don't want to buy the new product of soap, okay? Or shampoo, conditioning, whatever you're trying to sell to them. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family. And that's also bringing back to what we said, how these cults push you away from them and be like, oh, they're just rubbish. You're doing a great thing.
Yeah.
No, just say no to them. Do what you want to do with your heart and avoid all that nonsense.
All right, guys.
That conclusion.
That concludes.
Went very dark.
Yeah, that concludes our cult video.
Yeah.
Be careful. There's a lot of people who have power these days on social media.
Oh, man.
A lot of influencers. Just, be careful.
Yeah, be careful. And yeah, of course, parents, be careful what your kid's looking at and being influenced by these days too. Yeah. Definitely.
Hopefully the next episode will be a bit happier.
Yeah.
If you guys have any suggestions, we are open.
Yeah, 100%. Just like our Instagram, give us your thoughts. Let us know what you want us to talk about. And, if you enjoy our stuff, hit a subscribe on the button below.
Share,
down there.
Give us a like.
Hit a subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah.
Until next
time, guys. Peace out.
Take care.
See ya.
That's a wrap.